This is an article from the European Union Times. So these are journalists from Europe. The article is dated April 16th. U.S. Special Forces in Yemen take over American Walmart stores. I'll leave you links for all these articles so you can see on your own. There's a map that says where they've closed. In Florida, Texas, various other Californias. And let's read a part of the article. It says, intriguing foreign intelligence service report circulating in the Kremlin. So this is a Russian report that's dated today, April 6th, that day, April 16th, 2 days ago, is expressing puzzlement as to why the United States top Special Forces Command that is currently directing the war in Yemen against the Houthi rebel forces has this past week taken over a number of Walmart stores in the U.S. and is now converting them to command and control centers called C2 centers. According to this report, SVR electronic intelligence analysts tasked with overseeing their American counterparts this past week identified a series of mysterious communications between the United States Special Operations Command, SOCOM, located at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida, their subservient counterpart located in the U.S. Naval Expeditionary Base Camp Lemonnier in Djibouti, where the war in Yemen is being directed from, and of all places, from a suddenly closed Walmart store in Brandon, Florida, just 20 kilometers or 13 miles from their main headquarters. They state everything in kilometers as they usually do in Europe, whereas it's miles in North America. In following these SOCOM communications, the report says a further strangeness was discovered when the C2, the Command and Control Center links, were also found existing between the likewise suddenly closed Walmart store in Pico Rivera, California, and the massive U.S. Marine base Camp Pendleton, located about 74 miles away. A suddenly closed Walmart store in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and at the Tulsa Air National Guard Base, TANGB, located 10 miles apart. A suddenly closed Walmart store in North Maryland, Texas, and Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas, located about 260 miles away. A suddenly closed Walmart store in Livingston, Texas, and the highly secretive U.S. Homeland Security base located at the Ellington Field Joint Reserve Base in Houston, Texas, that's 74 miles away. As to why all of these Walmart stores spanning the entire length of the U.S. were suddenly closed, this report continues. The U.S. news sources are reporting that they all mysteriously experienced the same exact problem. Plumbing problems. But with the local news sources from California to Florida quickly discounting as not being true. More ominous, however, of the sudden closing of these Walmart stores, this report states, is their location in what has been described as the main combat target zone of a massive SOCOM military exercise planned for the United States called Jade Helm, whose ending in September coincidentally exactly coincides with the 6-month date of all of these stores, that all of these stores have suddenly stated they will remain closed for until they reopen. So that's April, May, June, July, August, September. That's exactly 6 months. And as you go on down to this article, U.S. Army Special Operations Command requests to conduct realistic military training, RMT, Jade Helm 15, in California, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Florida. Note Mississippi and Florida were late additions to the military exercise. The massive Jade Helm exercise itself is an 8-week U.S. domestic battle plan scheduled to begin July 15th. But they're preparing from now, obviously. And it will last until September 15th, encompassing the U.S. states of California, mostly friendly but with an insurgent pocket, Utah, enemy state, Arizona, friendly state, Nevada, friendly state, Colorado, friendly state, New Mexico, neutral state, Texas, enemy state, Mississippi, not designated, and Florida, not designated. Mississippi and Florida were late additions to this military exercise. According to the unclassified request to conduct realistic training, Jade Helm 15, posted by SOCOM, describes a massive domestic military exercise. They further state about it. A challenging 8-week joint military and interagency unconventional warfare exercise conducted throughout Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado. The 7 states and divided regions therein are designated hostile, permissive, uncertain, leaning to hostile, and uncertain, leaning friendly. For example, California designated as a largely blue permissive region with a small portion of south in the red hostile. You're going to see the colored map there on this article. EU Times, the colors designate if they're neutral, if they're, the red means they're hostile, and the blue means they're friendly. Even more grimly to note about this Jade Helm adventure, the SVR intelligent analysis analyzes in this report state that SOCOM forces are apparently honing the tactics they will soon be using against their own citizens in America, including mass starvation in Yemen. There are reasons for this being so, they continue explaining, is due to both Yemen and the U.S. having the largest per capita ratio of privately owned guns in the world. Well, what about all the Swiss? In Switzerland, both men and women have numerous guns, antiques and modern, of all types and machinations and technology. I mean, they should be, and they're supposed to have guns to protect if need be, to protect their country. But the greatest potential horror of what SOCOM's Jade Helm is really about, this report grimly concludes, can be heard in the words of the late U.S. Army veteran FBI informant Larry Grothwall, who in 1982 described in chilling detail the Obama regime's fellow travelers' logistic master plan to kill tens of millions of Americans, and by using these closed Walmart stores as C2 centers, command and control centers, to weed them out would certainly be something they can do. This is very strange, very unsettling, and this has been written by the European Union. The article I want to link you on is the official Walmart tunnels of Paulding County investigation. It was in GeoCities at the end of October 2009, but that's okay. It has to do with the Walmart tunnels, so let's go. In order to further protect the homeland and ensure the safety of its citizens in case of nuclear, biological, or chemical attacks, a joint venture of the NSA, DoD, Department of Defense, MIB, Department of Homeland Security, CICs, DFCS, and BK are being created in order to create an extensive tunnel system throughout the South. These tunnels will also serve as conduits for national defense to rapidly move troops, supplies, and armor throughout the nation between strategic topographical locations. A map of the believed military and government installations affected and connected by this tunnel system. Paulding County, Georgia is said to be the central location of the project. Yorkville, Georgia is to be the terminus of sorts of the hubs in Anniston, Alabama, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Macomb, Georgia, Lookout Mountain, Tennessee, Lockheed Martin, and Marietta, Georgia. Walmart's involvement in the project has not been officially commented on, but it's generally perceived that Walmarts in these areas are staging areas for the tunnel project. It is to be noted that this project is under a great deal of scrutiny by those who live near the ongoing construction project. Analysts do not believe the project will be available for public use, but will not be publicly acknowledged. Rumors of usage by NASA for its installation in Huntington, Alabama have been found to be true. There are links on this site. This is Department of Defense, United States of America. There are links to the site, local web forum, Paulding County discussion on the ongoing construction, official Department of Defense website, National Security Agency website, George Norrie and Art Bell, who are also following Talent Development Award, and Walmart's websites. So I will leave you a link below for this as well. So these are journalists from Europe. The article is dated April 16th. U.S. Special Forces in Yemen take over American Walmart stores. I'll leave you a link for all these articles so you can see on your own. There's a map that says where they've closed. In Florida, Texas, various other Californias. This is an article from the European Union Times.